Hello. Hopefully this is on. Hey there, I'm Matt, and I wanted to share a little bit about what I'm up to. I'll share a bit about my story of launching a digital agency, growing it, building a team, moving into an office, being successful on paper, and then falling out of love with it. Falling out of love with the process, finding it really difficult, and finding myself in a situation where it was really inauthentic to who I was or who I am. And my process for scaling it down and finding what's next. And I don't know what's next right now. Right now, I'm sitting here in March of 2024 and I'm thinking about what I do next. So hopefully I can share a little bit about my experience, that it benefits at least one person. And I can share a little bit about kind of how I'm going about finding the next thing, transitioning from this into what's next. I think that's something that everybody kind of goes through in life. So I started the agency called Gallantway in 2017 after working in digital marketing for about 6 or 7 years. I moved to Sydney, Australia as a fresh-faced 23-year-old Kiwi who'd left Auckland and traveled the world. And I fell in love with growing brands. And really, more deeply than that, I fell in love with working with great people. I think it's something that, I've always really, really enjoyed, and something that I think is a strength of mine. You know, I just find it so rewarding to be building things with great people. And so I started the agency in 2017 and quickly found myself working with some really large businesses, really large brands. The agency itself was really focused around growth marketing and performance marketing. So we were helping some huge brands acquire customers, solve growth problems through strategy. And I think the first couple of years in business, I just worked out of my house. I started it with a laptop, and I've still got the notes in a little notebook around kind of the values of the company that I wanted to start. So for the first couple of years, we worked largely with financial service companies, a lot of venture-backed businesses, and then really kind of started to grow the team. I guess fell into that trap that a lot of founders early stage kind of get into, which is I think I can do a lot myself. And, I started to build a team around me with some challenges, some ups and some downs and a few other things. And eventually went looking for a general manager. I think throughout the life cycle of the business, I had always been looking for business partners, and I really struggled to find one, not for want of or lack of trying, and then moved the business up to the Gold Coast in Australia. We repositioned the brand or the business through COVID, which was a pretty challenging time. I was really proud to have never missed payroll, really proud to have worked with some great people and grown some great businesses. And then 2021, we were up here on the sunny Gold Coast and working with some decent clients. I was chasing, hopefully some great people, trying to change the team a little bit, and got to a point in 2023, we'd moved into an office, we'd had some challenging clients, we've had some challenging team members, and I got to a point where I found it difficult to start to open my inbox in the mornings. And, I've always thought of myself as quite a high-performing person. I love, getting the best results for everybody and trying to work with everybody in the best way possible. But there was definitely a period of 2023 where I it's not like I had checked out, but I'd really found it quite anxiety inducing to want to be in the business. Even though we'd by then found a couple of great team members, and we're doing some really good things, I then went on to go through a process of trying to sell the business. And through that process, I thought I'd cleaned up a lot of the things that were troubling me, and making me unhappy with the business. And it wasn't just the financial performance. I was asking really deep questions around, like, why am I doing this with my time when I could be doing other things? And so through the sale of the business, or attempted sale of the business, I should say, I had some great conversations, met a number of interested parties. I think I'd spoke to 20 or 30 people looking to buy the company. And I made the decision at the time to continue on. And this was probably February of last year. And thought that I could kind of work myself out of the situation, work myself into a place where I was more interested in being in the business, more passionate about it. And so we cleaned up a lot of processes. We moved on a number of clients that were causing us some challenges. We'd kind of narrowed our products. We built some systems and other things to solve other parts of the business. And I decided not to sell the company. And by, I'd say, August of last year, so 6 or 7 months later, I was kind of hugely burned out, and I just woke up one day and I just said, I physically can't and don't want to do this anymore. So maybe in hindsight I should have moved on with the business, but in any case, I made the decision, and then for a couple of weeks I kind of took some time to reflect on it and wanted to be really certain that this was the right thing to do, because we had a couple of great team members, and the last thing I wanted to do was kind of leave everybody in a situation that wasn't the right one. And so I made the decision and let the team know, which was, something that created a lot of anxiety and was really difficult for me to do. And I think it was also in part admitting to that it hadn't really worked out the way that I thought it would, for myself, because I think it's natural that as founders, if you're running your own business or you're running a digital agency or, that type of thing, your identity becomes attached to what you're trying to build. And so if it fails, then you're kind of like, well, who the fuck am I? So I went through a process of winding down the company, moving on a lot of clients that I found just too challenging to work with and that really weren't aligned with my values. And I've kept a couple of great clients. I'm still doing some strategy and consulting work. And I'm now kind of embarking on this journey to try and figure out a little bit more about what's really going to be authentic to me, what do I want to do, and who do I want to do it with, and hopefully through this process share some lessons around kind of what I've learned in building a company, growing a company, and for that business that I've just talked about, which would have been a great business for the right person, how I would have done it differently. So today, I guess I just wanted to share a little bit about my history and my background, and it's really quite funny. I have just come back from a trip to Melbourne, where we met with a couple of clients and actually some other kind of partner agencies that I've worked with. We had a couple of meetings, and we just had so much fun. Had a day where I was working with people I really cared about and clients I really cared about, and doing some work that just felt right. And so I guess I'm going to start chasing more of that feeling. And I don't know what that looks like, but I did want to just share a few notes that I've got here that I think may help people going through a transition, either from a different job maybe a little bit around their own identity. And yeah, I don't know if it helps, but I read this book called Transitions, funnily enough, by William Bridges, and he kind of breaks up the process of transitioning into three different phases. You know, the ending, the finality of kind of accepting and coming to terms with whatever that may be, the neutral zone, this period of which I'm in right now, hugely anxiety-inducing uncertainty, and then the new beginning, which is pretty much what it sounds like. And there's this amazing quote in this book, which I'd encourage everybody to have a look at if anybody's actually listening to me go on, which goes like this. It goes, "Not in his goals, but in his transition, man or woman is great." And I think that's so true. It's not about the striving to achieve the ultimate goal. It's how we navigate life's transitions, I think, at a really high level is something that I'm really discovering. And really, the book talks about a clear differentiation between change, which is, you know, like if you're moving to a city, if you're getting an animal, you're moving into a new house, that's change. But a transition is much deeper. It's a fundamental redefinition of who you are. And for me, as a business owner who's, you know, gone through these highs of growing this business, making millions, working with the team, with the office, blah, 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 to that coming to an end, very much unplanned and not the way that I saw it, I'm going through this process of redefining myself and kind of what's next. So yeah, hopefully I can kind of take you along that journey. Like I said, I'm really not too sure what that looks like, but I just want to do something that's authentic to who I am. And hopefully if I can help one person who's kind of stuck, kind of in the same situation, maybe not sure what they're passionate about and trying to figure it out, that's kind of what I'm going through now. And yeah, I'd love to kind of share a little bit more about my story, and hopefully you can take something from this. All right, have a good day.